I said earlier today, I don't watch a lot of cable news. Partly because of the corporate structure of it. That, look, there are certainly good journalists, and in any outlet, just about any outlet, there are some good journalists. I used to even say that of Fox News. There were some people that did good work, even though the organization itself is just a toxic cesspool of propaganda and lies. I don't really say that anymore. But MSNBC, great people that work there. Overall, I think they do a good job. But I don't know what's going on in U.S. media. It's worse than it's ever been, and I didn't think that was possible. MSNBC made the decision to fire. They haven't fired Alex Wagner. She's just shifting to a different role, but she didn't have a show anymore. They fired Phang, I believe, and they fired Joy Reid. All at once. Just a massacre of talent. They left two of their white hosts, though, Rachel Maddow and Lawrence O'Donnell. So anyway, I'm going to play these two clips. This is Rachel Maddow doing in her way. Look, I think she's outstanding. I think she is brilliant. I think the content that she produces is top notch. She has a different style, most certainly, than I have. She is, intellectual type. So she wants to give fairness and charity to people. She doesn't want to ruffle a ton of feathers. So although this is far different than the words I would say, I think her heart's in the right place. And I think that I could title this, Rachel Maddow hammers MSNBC. I'm not going to do that. I think that's what she meant to do, but it's not really in her character and her nature and her personality to do it the way I would do it. Because I tell them to fucking pound sand. That they made a racist choice. Race had to have played a role in this because Joy Reid does great work. Phang does great work. Alex Wagner is outstanding at what she does. And they left Jen Psaki and Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow. It's troubling. What was behind the decision? Anyway, look. There's two clips here I want to play. One is talking about how much Rachel Maddow has learned from Joy Reid and what a mistake it was for MSNBC to make this decision to send her out the door. I believe Joy Reid should look for it. She's going to start a new venture on Substack or something and support her when she does. She's now in the space of independent media, and we need to support independent media. When I say now more than ever, it's not just to support me now more than ever. If you find somebody that you appreciate, if that's Joy Reid, support her in what her new endeavor is. First, though, here's this first clip from Rachel Maddow, and then we'll go into a second where she talks about not just the talent, but there are people who are facing firing who had to reapply for their jobs. Like, seriously, the question remains, what in the fuck are they doing at MSNBC? Watch this.
In all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Phang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
It is the question that needs to be answered. What was behind it? What was the calculus behind firing all the non-white primetime hosts and leaving the two white primetime hosts? Do you think, MSNBC, that this is some kind of a play to your audience's preferences? Do you think your audience, your corporate Democrat and probably some progressives also, you think they're into the wholesale slaughter of your talent, getting rid of just your your black and brown Asian talent. What are you doing? More to the question also, though, and this will play into this next clip, is why are you forcing people who have been longtime loyal, capable employees to reapply for jobs? Now they're uncertain. Are we going to, is this in service to Donald Trump? Is this to signal to him that we're willing to shake things up for you, sir, with tears in our eyes? What is going on? Watch this.
But one thing you cannot necessarily see is that the people who get our shows on the air, they're really being put through the ringer. Dozens of producers and staffers, including some who are among the most experienced and most talented and most specialist producers in the building, are facing being laid off. They're being invited to reapply for new jobs. That has never happened at this scale in this way before when it comes to programming changes, presumably because it's not the right way to treat people, and it's inefficient and it's unnecessary, and it kind of drops the bottom out of whether or not people feel like this is a good place to work, and so we don't generally do things that way. Maybe all of our folks, including most of the people who are getting this very show on the air right now, maybe they will all get new jobs here, and I hope they do, but in the meantime, being put in this kind of limbo, the anxiety and the discombobulation is off the charts at a time when this job already is extra stressful and difficult. It is not news for me to tell you that the press and freedom of the press are under attack in a way that is really, it's a big deal for our country. It's very visceral for us here. I know that the business of the press is not an easy thing, and I know that no job is forever. But I think I'm safe in saying for all of us anchors who you know through the TV, please know that what pains us the most is not what happens to us. It is what happens to our coworkers on whom we depend and who you don't necessarily know, but we respect and love them and depend on them. And did I mention we respect them? This is a difficult time in the news business, but it does not need to be this difficult. We welcome new voices to this place and some familiar voices to new hours. It's going to be great, honestly, and we want to grow and succeed and reach more people than ever and be resilient and stay here forever. I also believe, and I bet you believe, that the way to get there is by treating people well. Finding good people, good colleagues, doing good work with them, and then having their back. That we could do a lot better on, a lot better.
Because it's not the right way to treat people. Mass firings, leaving people uncertain about their station, about their position, about their job, about their livelihoods, is something you would expect from Doge. This is very Doge behavior, very Trumpian behavior, very corporate behavior. And this is why you think I'm worried about getting fired by dipshits in suits on the top floor of the MSNBC building? I think that's probably 30 Rock. No, I'm not afraid of that because I'm independent. Joy Reid is now independent, free. I mean, along with your freedom, my freedom, comes a lot of uncertainty, most certainly, about being ruled by the algorithms and everything else. But short of them quitting and it just being an absolute a walkout over there, we do need people to continue with the messaging, to continue with the tying what's taking place to history. And there's really nobody better. Certainly a lot of people could do as good a job, but nobody better at it than Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow. For them to leave, it would be just insult upon injury, and we don't need that, especially in tenuous times like this. Anyway, I'd love your opinion on this. Did you watch this? What are your thoughts? Are you following this story? You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. You see, I'm the type they don't even hire as a talking head because they think I'm too unpredictable or whatever. Maybe that's true. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.